Also, another critical thought I would share is the importance of just taking that leap, in the terms of, if you want to start something, just start it. And I guess you can make sense of it as time goes on. And then also shooting your shot when it comes to wanting to partner with people or working with brands or organisations. Put yourself out there. The worst that they can say is no. It can hurt your ego a little bit, but I think that's another lesson that I really, really learned as well along the way.
Hello and welcome to another episode of our Sense in Nonsense series. Sense in Nonsense seeks to capture people's seemingly nonsense experiences that they've had in this journey of life. And when they look back, they can make sense of it. Today, we have a very special guest. We've got with us Miss Olamide Majekodunmi. Olamide, welcome to our Sense in Nonsense series.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great. For the benefit of our audience,
yes,
could you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background?
Yes, so I'm Olamide, 27 years old, the founder of a business called All Things Money, which teaches young adults how to manage their finances effectively. So it started off as an Instagram page during lockdown, which has now snowballed into a business reaching over 100,000 young people every month. And then I'd also deliver talks, workshops for universities, organisations as well.
Right. All Things Money.
Yes.
That makes sense. But you said it started with an Instagram page.
Yes.
And now it's exploded into something else.
Yeah, it's growing massively into something I honestly couldn't even imagine when I first started back 5 years ago.
5 years ago? So it's been going on for 5 years now?
Yes.
Okay. So what was the plan when you started it?
Oh, good question. There was no plan. I had just graduated from university at the time. I was meant to move to Australia. Had a one-way ticket booked. And COVID obviously happened during that time, and so I couldn't go anywhere. So instead of obviously planning my forward travels, I took to reading books about how to invest in the stock market, because I had loads of friends telling me now's the perfect time to start investing. So I did some research, started investing, and then that same week I got some of my friends investing as well, and it just made me realise, if I can teach young adults how to manage just amongst my friendship group, I really think every person across the UK should learn how to manage their finances effectively too. So I filmed one video, and from that one video it's grown into an online community of literally over 50,000-60,000 now.
Oh really?
Yeah, across all of our social media platforms.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
From one video?
Well, it's now hundreds, but it did start from that one video.
Okay, of course. I mean, a fire starts with a spark.
Yes.
It could start with just one match, and that's it. But you said, what was it? You were trying to learn about the stock market.
Yes.
So basically, it was you looking for financial. You were trying to set up yourself financially by learning about the stock market and going into investments.
Yes.
And from there, you helped some friends, or you and some friends came together?
Yeah, taught some friends, and just how easy it was to teach my friends. I was just like, why are we not talking about this in school? Why don't we talk about this when we're going for drinks with on the weekend? And so I was like, you know what, I was a younger face, wanting to just I guess cater to a young audience, and I didn't see many people doing that online. We got Martin Lewis in the UK, but I wanted a younger face that was doing the exact same thing for my generation.
Okay. Talking about that, actually, you're going to be the youngest guest on our podcast.
I've heard.
So that's very interesting and you mentioned that it was something to teach the younger audience about financial literacy, basically.
Yes.
So there was a gap in the market.
Yeah, massive.
And you recognized that gap. And whilst trying to go on a journey yourself, you started to address that gap.
Yes.
How ridiculous is that? In the sense that normally I imagine you went to uni and you came out of uni.
Yes.
But didn't you go round the down the employment routes when you came out of uni?
Good question. So I graduated in that March, April that year.
Okay.
I genuinely thought lockdown was going to last 3 weeks. So I thought I would still be going to Australia that September, which was the plan.
Okay.
Then September came round and Australia had no plans of opening their borders. So I actually did get a full-time job then, working in the events industry or wedding industry.
Okay.
Did that for a year and a half while still growing my platform.
Right.
And then very quickly I was just like, wow, if I can make this kind of money working a full-time job, let me see what it would be like if I dropped to 3 days a week. So then I dropped down to 3 days a week. That only lasted a month because I realised 3 days a week isn't, like 2 days a week for my own business wasn't enough.
Right.
And so I quit my job and decided to go full time. So I've been running this business full time for like 3.5 years now.
Wow. So you were in full-time employment.
Yes.
And then run the business on the side.
Yeah.
And then you found the business growing and needed more time and attention.
Yeah.
So you cut down on the full-time employment to focus on this, and it's been going since then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In this cost of living crisis, I think anyone that's listening that has their own business or wants to start something, if you can successfully say that you've actually survived, even just 1 year of business, I think is an accomplishment. And yes, there's been peaks and troughs running this business, but the fact that I'm still standing says a lot, and it says a lot about the need for financial literacy across the UK as well.
Absolutely. And in this journey of entrepreneurship, you've been to number 10 a couple of times.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I've been to 10 Downing Street twice.
Yeah, you're not a member of parliament.
No.
You're not a politician.
No.
So what business do you have at number 10?
Good question. So I think now that I'm really in this mission to close the financial literacy gap, I've shared a lot of my passions about the need for financial literacy and education in schools. So I've done that by sharing content online, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and I think a lot of people agree with the same sentiment. So my first trip to 10 Downing Street was to submit a petition to 10 Downing Street about the need to make financial literacy compulsory in the UK.
Curriculum in the education?
Yeah, because it's not currently compulsory. Well, at least not across all schools and not from primary school age. And then my second trip to Downing Street was to celebrate the launch of the new Small Business Council, which is in partnership with QuickBooks. So yeah, that was my second trip to Downing Street. So one was focused on financial literacy, second was how to celebrate small businesses and support them in the UK as well.
Interesting. So from employment to entrepreneurship to Downing Street.
Yeah.
Oh, what a journey.
It has been. It really has been.
Right. All things money.
Yes.
What was your plan when you went to school? I mean, we ask the question, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yes.
So when you went to school, what did you want to be? What did you want to do?
Good question. So there was many different jobs I wanted to do when I was growing up, but one that I settled on was, I wanted to be in the world of business, and that was the final one after wanting to be a singer, a fashion designer, a baker, a sports psychologist. Then at the end of year 11, everyone signed it, voted for everyone in terms of what they'll be when they're older, and everyone was like a rich businesswoman. Okay. I'm not rich yet, but I am a businesswoman, so I'm nearly there.
Okay, the prophecy was there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went into uni.
Yes.
And in uni, as in, when you choose your subjects or when you choose your degree, you studied what?
Yeah, so I studied business management, but studying business management and actually running a business, two different things. And I think because a lot of my business relies on being on social media, where I didn't really learn about social media marketing at the time, or what it means to actually put yourself out there and outreach to prospective clients. So yeah, a lot of it was just learning on the job, and I think that's something else I'd add to people listening who want to maybe start their own business is you just got to trial and error. And that, as long as it's not costing your business thousands, a simple trial and error here and there won't be the detriment of your business.
And also learning about what you don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Because oftentimes you want to do this and you don't know about it, and it becomes a barrier because you don't know it.
Yeah.
So, but you can learn it and then you can apply it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went to uni, studied business, and came out, and what was it straight away? I'm going to do a business.
No, All Things Money was just a side hustle, it was just a hobby. And then slowly did then go into the business.
Okay,
like I
so
mentioned.
did you have a vision that, I'm going to set up a business or I'm going to run a business?
No.
Okay, so really, like you said, All Things Money was, even though you call it a side hustle, it was a hobby.
It was literally a hobby first, very much a hobby. Just posting videos.
Okay.
Was really cringy videos.
Yeah.
And then it was only when that September when I couldn't go to Australia, I was just like, okay, I've actually grown like 1,000 followers, I think it was roughly at the time. I was like, how can I monetize this? And so I launched my very first ebook. And it was only because I launched the ebook did I then think, okay, I need to register myself as a sole trader and also have a business bank account. So that's the only time when I thought, okay, this could actually become a business.
Right.
But that was what, March, April, May, June, like 8 months,
Right,
7-8 months after into having this hobby, which then became a side hustle. And then as we were in and out of lockdown after launching my book, I started doing online webinars for my community.
Right.
So that's then how I monetized that front, and then started working with brands after that as well.
Right, okay. You mentioned something that I'm going to pick up on, which a lot of people do when they come out of uni.
Yes.
You got a one-way ticket to Australia.
Yes.
Whatever informed that?
So I'd visited
That doesn't
Australia.
make sense.
I know, making sense of nonsense.
Yeah.
So I'd visited Australia the year before.
Okay.
Visited a friend in Melbourne, visited a friend in Sydney. When I visited my friend in Melbourne, I literally hopped off the plane, and within an hour I messaged my mum being like, I can see myself living here.
Oh,
I'm going to
really?
move.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so when I got
you
back,
fell in love with Australia at one time?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I see.
I did. Literally within the hour being in the city. And so, 2 weeks after coming back, I booked my one-way ticket.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes.
So what, was it that you were fed up with England or what?
I mean, I'm not England's biggest fan, and anyone that knows me know that's very much the case. I travel as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love having business as well so much, that it does give you that flexibility. Yes, you work long hours sometimes, and yes, it's not always as glamorous as it people like to make out, but you do get that flexibility, and that's one thing I love about running my own business now.
Fantastic. Okay, so Olamide, in this journey that you've been on,
Yeah.
can you share with us one critical lesson that you've learned along the way?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say consistency is key.
Okay.
And I say that because when I started All Things Money in lockdown, so many friends and like acquaintances I knew at the time started a side hustle or did something new to curb their like lockdown boredom, and I would say about 5% of those businesses or side hustles still exist.
Okay.
And so I think consistency really is important if you found a passion that you love. I think firstly, find a passion that you love, but also something you love so much that you don't mind doing for free, because All Things Money wasn't a business when I started. It was just a passion.
Yeah.
It was just something that I did because I was really bored during lockdown. And it was only then, due to consistency, I started gaining traction as in the result of building a community. And then from having that community, I was able to monetize that community, and then externally I was then able to work with brands and I guess monetize that community even further, because I had an engaged community. And now it goes beyond that, and now I deliver educational talks, workshops for universities, colleges and organisations. But I think consistency is really important, because at the beginning it can be you probably will be speaking to an audience of 1, if not 0, and so I think it's about just being consistent, because you actually never know where that consistency can lead you.
Yeah, interesting. You see, what I take from that, first of all, I think the challenge that a lot of people have with going into business or going into entrepreneurship is about monetization.
Yes.
How do I make money?
Yeah.
And usually it's the other way around. People go into entrepreneurship to make money. Yes, of course you need to make money, but you're talking about having a passion first and foremost, and being consistent.
Yeah.
And then that will lead you down the monetization route, as opposed to, I want to go into this just to make money. Because if that's your objective and you don't have a passion in that, you're more likely to be amongst the 95 who have fallen by the wayside along the way.
Yeah, 100%. And it's a case of I have so many of my friends who work in marketing, social media management, and I know they make so much money, but no amount of money can make you want to do what they do. And so I think it's important, yes, to have that passion, but the consistency is really key. And I think it's a case of being consistent even if there is no money to be made. Now I say that from a privileged position where when I started All Things Money, I was living at home, so my my living overheads were a lot less. So I know not everyone can be in that position, but I do think it's really important to have that passion and to still be consistent, even if it is £100 that you're making every month or whatever it is, because I think it really does have the power to take you somewhere that you actually can't imagine, because I never would have thought I would end up in 10 Downing Street when I posted that very first video.
Indeed. Not only that, I mean, you're working with brands now.
Yes.
And you're also in education.
Yes.
You're educating people on financial literacy and the likes. And it looks like you're going to be, if you haven't already developed, products along that, along that line. So it's like a whole enterprise in itself.
Literally. And I think as well in the whole, I can now make sense of the nonsense, because at the time I started all things money just as a passion, but now the business has now created like 7 streams of income, which again I can now make sense of. But at the time I was just like, oh, this works, let me try this works, let me try this. Also, another critical thought I would share is the importance of just taking that leap, in the terms of, if you want to start something, just start it. And I guess you can make sense of it as time goes on. And then also shooting your shot when it comes to wanting to partner with people or working with brands or organizations. Put yourself out there. The worst that they can say is no. It can hurt your ego a little bit, but I think that's another lesson that I really learned as well along the way.
I think it was Martin Luther King Jr. that said, even if you can't see the top of the staircase, just take that first step. And that's what I hear you say, in the sense that you have a passion for something. Take that first step. You might not see the whole picture, but as you walk that path, the picture becomes clearer. Even that which you didn't consider, you can begin to make sense of it.
Yes, definitely.
Interesting. So in all of this also, what is one truth that you can share?
One truth, what, in relation to running a business?
That you've learned in this your journey. I mean, in this your journey of life, essentially. From uni to employment to business. One truth that you can hold on to and say, okay, yes, this I know to be true for sure.
There'll always be setbacks. And I say that because there'll be days where I think I'm not doing well, and there'll be days where I'm like, oh, is my passion really there? Do I want to do this forever? But I think that always comes like in cycles, right? So there'll be days where you want to go and conquer the world, and there'll be days where you're thinking, is this for me? So there'll always be setbacks, but I think it's how you deal with the setbacks that'll make you come back stronger. And I also think who you surround yourself with is really important as well, because if I didn't have my family that supported everything that I did, or just even when I filmed my first video, the support I actually got from the people I actually surrounded myself with is testament, really, because if it wasn't for them, then I definitely wouldn't be sat here chatting about the business today.
I like that. There will always be setbacks.
Always.
No, it's true, because one thing that I've learned in life is that a lot of people want it easy in life. And I can't remember who said it, but somebody made an analogy about it, that if you go to the hospital and you see people connected to that machine when they're on life support or whatever, and it's going beep, 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 and that's what life is about. It's like, you have the peaks and the troughs. And a lot of people that want it easy want a flat line. So when that machine flatlines, what does it mean? It means the person's gone. So that's what it is. I mean, so the only people who don't experience setbacks are the people that are gone.
It's true. Very true. And I also think you have, like you said, you have peaks and troughs, but I think when you zoom out, you can actually see the trajectory of the upward trend that you've had. So I think also, with that being said, it's really important to list down your wins, to always kind of look back. That's one thing that I've really learned the importance of. My mum always says that all the time, to make sure that you keep looking back, because for me, I'm very much like, okay, I've done this, what's next? And because I'm always chasing what's next, and because of external pressure, societal pressure, you see what everyone else is achieving, and then you actually forget, well, actually you've done this, cut yourself some slack and give yourself grace. So I think that's also another
interesting. So it's good to look back, and also celebrate your wins, however small or big they may be.
Because I remember when I celebrated my first 50 Instagram followers and I was like, oh my gosh, and I got that in an afternoon, and then obviously wanting the next milestone, so that evening I hit 100, and I was like, okay, I've made it. And then I remember when, I think it was just under a year in, I reached maybe 3,500 followers, and my first brand reached out to me and they offered me £100 to post on Instagram, and I remember being like, now I've made it. So, and that's the small wins I'm celebrating now, which don't even I can't even begin to comprehend the wins that I now get.
Yes,
so,
of course.
It's always about looking back and remembering, oh gosh, those are what the big achievements were, and these are the ones you're achieving now.
Interesting. That reminds me of what one of my mentors says. I think it's Les Brown that says, that life is going to knock you. But if you ever fall down, make sure that you land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
Yeah.
So which means that
you're always
you're always going to, life is going to knock you, and if it does knock you down, just try and make sure that you land on your back so that you can look up. And if you can look up, then you can get up.
Yeah, I like that, definitely.
So that's just it. Interesting. So now you've taken this journey and you've navigated the path as you found it. Tell me, what would your future self thank you for?
Well, my future self?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good question. I've never been asked that before.
If you could have a glimpse into the future and you look back and your future self says, Olamide, thank you for...
My future self would just thank me for being consistent. And I thank my old self for also being consistent, to the point where, like I said, there'll be days where I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I don't think I want to do this anymore. Or is this path for me? Is entrepreneurship for me? So if Ola, who's like 30, 40, 50 years old, sees me, looks back, and they'll probably think, gosh, thank God that you actually just continue to push through. I think that'll probably be the first thing that comes to my mind.
Interesting. I think, this is a very interesting story. It's a very interesting journey. You've gone through from one Instagram post to 10 Downing Street. Yeah. And now with how many Instagram followers you say?
So Instagram got just nearly 30,000, and then we've got about nearly 10,000 on TikTok, and we've got 10,000 listeners on the podcast.
Right, okay. So, and now you say you've developed 7 streams of income.
Yes.
I mean, basically in all things money.
Yes.
And you're actually revolutionizing financial literacy in the youth segment, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. Olamide, this has been an interesting conversation with Olamide Majekodunmi. It's been a journey of taking that leap and of consistency, with the understanding and realization that there will be setbacks.
Yeah.
So as long as you are aware of that, as long as you take cognizance of that there will be setbacks, but hey, guess what? You can overcome those setbacks. You can get over those setbacks. It's about the consistency and keep turning up, keep showing up, and you never know where the path may lead, as long as you have the passion. So look for your passion. If you can look for your passion and pursue that passion, at some stage you will begin to make sense of it. That, this is what happened then, and this is where it led me to. Olamide, thank you very much for appearing on this episode of Sense in Nonsense. And this is me, your host, Jacob Shomoye, saying thank you and see you very soon.
Thank
Goodbye.
You.